We shall now go on to our next speaker, Dr. Mukesh Dholakia, who is again a specialist in cataract, glaucoma, and medical retina from Dholakia Eye Hospital and Laser Center, Gujarat. And we look forward to what he has to show to us. Yes, Dr. Mukesh, are you there? He was there.
Yeah. So good afternoon, each and everyone, and thank you, Chitra ma'am. Should I start sharing my video?
Yes.
Yeah, and audio is there with it.
Yes.
Nucleus drop, a case discussion by Dr. Mukesh Dholakia, Gujarat. First step, CCC is well managed. It was round and circular. The second step, hydro procedure, is also as usual. I feel nothing wrong, it was there. Once the hydro procedure completed, we moved for nucleus management. I felt the nucleus is a bit soft, but compact and cheesy. But it was not difficult to manage. In such situation, I managed the case by doing 4-quadrant crack technique. So as usual, I am doing 2 cutters and will try to separate the 4 pieces of the nucleus. As I said, nucleus was resistant to crack. So again, I am trying to move and trying to get first crack of the nucleus. I was not getting proper 4 crack in the nucleus. I thought I got first crack of the nucleus. So this portion of the video I recorded, I'm showing you in slow motion. Here we will see at what step nucleus get dropped into the vitreous. So I thought I am catching apex of one piece of nucleus, and here as you see I'm almost to catch the apex of the nucleus. And suddenly nucleus goes into the vitreous cavity. All nucleus jumped into the vitreous cavity and nothing left for me to manage. So what was wrong? That I was thinking, and when I saw whole procedure 3-4 times, then I found the main culprit step for all this tragedy. PC gave away during this step what I personally feel. Can you see this snipping effect? At this particular moment, PC was blank. You spare your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mukesh. So what video takes us back right to the basics about hydrodissection pearls. Like what we need to understand is when you're doing as straightforward and a simple step as a hydrodissection, we need to always burp out the visco, we need to decompress the bag, and then only do a repeat hydro, or else this kind of a pupillary snap sign or a capsule blowout can happen. Yeah. Now, supposing the situation was that you have seen the pupillary snap, the nucleus is in the bag, would you at that point itself, instead of going on to any other step, think of doing something different? Dr. Bhavikar, are you there?
Yes, madam, I'm there.
Yeah.
Even if there is a pupillary snap, at this point of time, it is not necessary to stop doing phaco.
Yes.
I would fill with a good visco, probably cohesive one. And another problem, what I saw in the video was that a plate was created. So there was no place to hold and chop. So the chopping should have been done much before going too deep. If that was done, probably, would have saved the day. And then another thing is that once you get a two heminuclei, then best thing would have been to get the nuclei into the heminuclei into the anterior chamber and look for PC rent, and then manage the case accordingly, either putting some kind of scaffolding between the nucleus and capsule, or if PC rent was not there, then putting a good visco above and protecting the cornea.
Dr. Swapna, your thoughts about
if I realize that I have
yes.
Yeah, if I realize that I have blown the capsule out, I'll convert immediately.
Yes.
SICS and bring the nucleus.
Yes.
No more.
Madam, would I say something?
Who's that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Dholakia.
Yes, yes, yes.
Actually, when I was proceeding for the phaco, I didn't notice anything snip side because it was so fast, and I never knew that this mishap can happen. So it was only retrograde notification that because of the hydro procedure was at fault, all this thing has happened.
Dr. Dholakia, what were your settings?
Actually, I'm using Venturi system. So in Venturi, we have only two things: irrigation and vacuum.
Irrigation bottle height was how high?
100 centimeters. That's usual.
Have you actually measured it at 100?
Yeah. Actually, I'm a tech guy, so I myself have devised one, up and down device myself. So it is 100. Okay. It is definitely 100.
So, Dr. Vavikar, would you actually have a separate setting for such a case then?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question. Talking about what Dr. Swapna said, does pupillary snap sign mean PC rent every time? So that is why. So that is why I would not like to convert at this stage. And that is one important point brought forward by Dr. Abhijit, is that I would definitely be gentle with the setting. So I will get the bottle height down and aspiration flow rate low, so that I am doing the surgery in a slow motion, and increase the vacuum as well as power, so that I am troubling the capsule much less. And then go ahead, what I said in the
here actually it is not just the snap that happened. Yes. Dr. Dholakia, a lot of problems rotating the nucleus as well. So there was always an indication that was not
something.
Can I add? Can I add, madam?
Yes.
In the process of doing 4-quadrant technique, he debulked the nucleus, whole nucleus, central core hard nucleus is debulked out, and he's left with no nucleus to hold on.
Yeah,
that was a problem actually.
Exactly, he was left with the plate.
That was, if you would have used a quick chop technique, the nucleus would have been in 2 segments, and that would have been brought in the anterior chamber, and just like madam said, would have converted into SICS and visco express the fragments.
And one more thing, sir, I want to add over here. The patient was very high myopic. Anterior chamber axial length was almost 31 millimeter. So that because of high myopia must be, low rigidity of the sclera might be, one of the causes.
In the face of the pupillary snap and the manipulations in the capsular bag was additive. So as Dr. Chandrasekhar is saying that if there is a pupillary snap, if you don't want to be conservative and you still want to proceed, then you should be thinking that you're going to be operating on an open capsule and take the adequate precautions to do and be prepared anytime for a nucleus to go in. And maybe if you're very careful, it was just a small area of rent, you might escape. Now, one last word in a soft cataract, as briefly as, I asked Swapna to tell me, what are the challenges in a soft cataract surgery? What would be the sure shot technique to do in a soft cataract? Because, sometimes the theoretically, it's not the same thing which works out in a soft cataract. Would you like to flip it out if it is a very soft cataract? This wasn't that soft a cataract. What would you like to do?
In a soft cataract, basically, I mean, when you try to get a hold over there, it gives way, and you keep ultimately make a large crater, and then there's nothing to hold on to and aspirate. So if that happens, then flipping, I think, would be good, because you've already debulked it, and you can just put some visco on the margins and, you know, topple it, and it can be flipped easily. But my basic technique is not to go too deep inside and not to use too much of power. So what I do is I try to hold, and then right from the periphery, I drag my chopper to the center without actually using too much of power and, you know, burying into the nucleus and chopping centrally. So I go under the capsule and bring the chop towards the center, and then divide the pieces like that. So it's just using vacuum that I do that. And that gives me, let's say, 4 pieces should be enough to, you know, make sure that each one comes out individually.
Now, what is your vacuum setting for a soft cataract? The vacuum that you would use? And would you actually wait till it occludes?
No, it depends. You know, I mean, the soft cataract, if I have something with is just posterior subcapsular, there's nothing of the nucleus, much of the nucleus here, or in a very young patient, I am not going to wait for it to occlude. I'll just hold it mechanically and then drag my chopper right from the periphery to the center, because that hold, or, you know, it just keeps on aspirating. You cannot wait for it to.
Yeah, you lose your occlusion. So yes, that's what the point he was trying to bring out. In flax, in a soft cataract, just one last word before we go on to our next speaker. Would you all think of doing a softening technique, or would you all only create fracture planes or chops?
There is no need.
Yeah. Yes, that's the point I wanted to bring forward. Ramurthy, you have anything to add? Shall I go on to the next speaker?
Yeah, go ahead. I think